Hello there, YouTube. My name is Jacob, and as always here, the PNCLCG is where you want to be. In today's video, I'm going to be covering the Easter event in CSR2. I know that the event is ending very shortly. However, if you haven't completed the event already, I'm hoping that this video will be very helpful to you. If you do enjoy today's content, please consider subscribing to the PNCLCG, leaving a like on this video. That really helps us out. Put a comment down in that comment section below, but please keep it respectful. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So, to start off first, when you're doing this Easter event, the first thing that I have discovered is that you want to make sure that the Subaru BRZ Rocket Bunny is the first car that you lock in. Now, you've probably already locked in your cars, but just in case you haven't yet, you haven't gotten the cars yet, you just got the gold, just in case, this is the one you want to lock in first. And the reason being is simply because, for whatever reason, when you lock this one in first, the event is easier to do. And this is specifically, this is the egg hunt. I've already completed the event, but what I am going to do is I'm going to show you, I took screenshots of all of the different 0 to 60 and all that sort of stuff, but I'm also going to show you I have not added anything to this car. As you can see, I pretty much have every single stage 6 available under the sun for this car. However, you'll see I have not put a single one in. This car is completely 100% doable. You can beat this entire event with no stage 6 on this car. And in fact, you'll see right here with my fusions, I only have green fusions. I'm missing 2 greens in the entire car. And those 2 greens that I am missing, one of them is right there in the nitrous. And the second one is right there in the engine. So if you're just missing those 2 greens, you can complete the entire first part of the event with the Subaru BRZ Rocket Bunny, and that's why it's just so much easier to do it this way. Now, when you have that kind of fusions on it, here I'm going to show what my car is. There's the nitrous. Here's the transmission. Here's the tires. The dyno is a 9.892. Now with a 9.892, you will beat the event, no problem at all. The event time for me was roughly around a 9.995. And again, that's with this car locked in first. If you did not lock this car in first, it's going to be a lot more difficult to complete. So very quickly, I'm just going to do one single test run. So if I don't get it right, oh well, I'm going to explain how I drive this car to be able to be successful. I'm going to get that perfect start, immediately shift into second, nitrous in third or fourth, and try not to hard shift the car too much. So there we go. And what I mean by hard shift is try not to get it where it's all the way down at the bottom there for the perfect shift, because the car likes to die out when you have the perfect shift and you're holding it there. So as you can see, that was not a perfect run, but that run will still beat the event. It's only a little bit off because I didn't get a perfect start and I made a little error on one of the shifts, but that is basically the shift pattern that I use to make sure that this car beats the event. So that's the first one. Now we have the second one, the Golf GTI Rocket Bunny. This car, however, you do need to fusion quite a bit more. You do need to use some stage 6 parts, this and that, here and there, to be able to complete it. Transmission stage 6, for some reason, appeared to be a pretty important stage 6 part to own. The nitrous stage 6 was pretty helpful. And then the turbo stage 6 was alright. It was okay. You can see I have every single green fusion put in this car, a lot of the blues, and only 2 of the pinks. So you'll see here I have 1 pink is in the turbo, Engine's fully fusioned. The second pink is here on the transmission stage 6. The transmission was fully fusioned. Tires was fully fusioned. Body was fully fusioned. The nitrous is missing a pink fusion. So yeah, with those 3 stage 6 parts, I had the car fully fusioned. Now, you do not simply need it to be that highly fusion, stage 6 part, this and that. As you see, I'm running a 9.816, and in my experience, you only needed to run about a 10.2 to be able to beat this. So you can do it without quite as many fusions in the car. And one thing I'll do right here really quickly, I will take this turbo transmission off, and if I go in here, I'm still beating it by a mile with these fusion parts. So then I'm also going to take the nitrous stage 6 part off, and just as a heads up, you never, if you have a stage 6 part installed, never hit the remove button. That's not worth it. Never hit the remove button. So alright, there we go. 10.177. Now this car has not actually been tuned to perfection. This is basically just so that I could beat this event. If you put this car way down here, like something like this, and you put the transmission like that, it says 10.339. Oh no, you can't beat the event. Well, you can. This car is a bit of a dyno destroying monster. You want to get about 4,000 RPM. You're going to shift into second and nitrous, and then that's all she wrote. And here on this shift, you're going to let it just run all the way down to the very end. There. And as you can see, we ran a 9.974 on a 10.339. So not only is it beating dyno by quite a bit, I absolutely demolished the event if I had this car on that setup. So if your car doesn't exactly have the dyno time that you think should be able to beat it, just take a look at that transmission setting where I put the transmission just on the stock setup, put the tires down to 0 out of 100. The car will beat dyno by quite a significant amount, and you will be able to beat the event with that car. Now the next car that I have that I used as a lock-in, and at this point it wasn't quite as important in my experience of which one you lock in when. So I have my Corvette Stingray Rocket Bunny. Now this car is extremely high fusion, extremely high stage 6 parts, all of that sort of stuff. I am going to take all of these stage 6 parts out of this car. Just take them all out. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. Gone. Now, when I go in here, this car is another one of those absolutely bonkers dyno beating cars. As you see there, I have an absolutely insane Evo drop from 1267 to 817. With no stage 6 parts on the fusions I have, my car is running a 12.324, and that was pretty effective at being able to beat it. So you don't need to have any stage 6 parts for the beginning part of the Easter event for that car. The next car that I used here is the Rocket Bunny V2 Fairlady ZZ33 that was available from Showdown a while back. So you'll see again, I have this car with a very high capacity for stage 6 parts. But I'm going to take them out again, just like I did for the last car. Take them out, take them out, take them out. Okay. This car again is another one where it does a weird Evo drop. Well, it's actually not weird, it's great. 12.043 dyno. Again, no stage 6 parts. With the fusions that I have available, every green, almost all of the blues, and not quite half of the pink fusions. So on stage 5, if you have the car fully fusioned, like this, you will have no trouble beating the event. Oh, because I am missing a fusion. Never mind. So, yeah, you can be missing some fusions. Missing some pink transmission fusions as well. So this car will completely 100% do it. No problems, no issues, nothing like that. However, when you get to the next car, I'm not sure what happened there. I tried to click on this car and it did not want to cooperate. If you have the Purple Star version of this car, in my experience, I think this is a lot more difficult if you have this one than if you have the regular 5-star Gold Star version. I needed, with no stage 6 parts, every single fusion to be in this car. Now, if you have stage 6 parts, then obviously you're going to be perfectly fine if you have the Purple Star version, this specific Purple Star version. I'm not sure if this is unanimous for every single one, and it may also be the fact that it was the last lock-in for me that it caused that to be the case. That's a certain possibility, but regardless, whatever, I'm going to just go ahead and say whatever car you had as your third lock-in is probably going to need to be very highly fusioned or have some stage 6 parts. Now here is the car that we're winning in the Ultimate Easter event. I have been able to acquire every single stage 6 part for this car. This is a car that I really like, so I went all in on the crates. You do not have to do that by any means. For stage 5, you can see that I have, for stage 5, almost every single fusion part in this car. Now, in order to beat this event, you are going to need some stage 6 parts. I'm just going to be blunt with that. However, I have purposefully not beaten this event so that if you are watching this video and you want to see, okay, how close am I to beating this thing, if you got this far, that you will be able to determine how close you are. So that's what I'm going to do right here, right now. I am going to race this with all of my cars. Now you saw I've taken all of the stage 6 parts out, so this could be a super easy event for me, but I am choosing to make it a little bit more difficult, just so that if you're watching this at home and you see this, you're able to determine how close you personally would be. Again, I was slowing down on purpose there. This is not crazy. Typically speaking, the Easter events are not crazy events to be able to complete. So just know that if you are looking to do these, and also the cars that are in these events recycle from year to year. So do be very mindful of that. These cars 100% will recycle. So if you have them, you will be able to use them in the future. You see that I slowed down way too much there. But again, I am purposefully making this event difficult because I just want to show that this is not that crazy of an event. Now this is a very highly upgraded car. I didn't actually take the parts out of this one, so you're going to see me absolutely blow by this car here, and it was saying it was extreme. So it's not a ridiculous event to be able to complete. So there's the times that I needed to run right there. I'm going to just save on that screen just so that you can see. And those are quarter mile time, by the way. So if you can get your quarter mile times to these, you probably can complete this entire event here. But yeah, so there we go. There's some cash. Woohoo. All that good stuff. Now I'm just going to finish this event so that you can simply see what that last speed trap is going to be and what the last races are going to be in order to beat this event. I hope you're enjoying this. I hope this is helpful to you if you haven't already completed it. If you have completed it and I had sent this video out, I hope that if I had sent it out earlier that this would have been comprehensive and helpful. I'm also partially doing this as late as I am because in future events when I am doing videos on them, this is basically how I'm going to give my coverage of them. I'm going to show all of the different cars, show how to drive them, everything like that, so that if you are struggling, that hopefully my videos can be helpful to you here in CSR2. Now, the other day, I recently made my first couple Pokemon related videos in a while, so I hope you enjoyed those if you're so inclined to that sort of content. And as you can see here, I have no issue blasting the heck out of that speed trap there. It was a 177 mile per hour speed trap. If you shift into third and use nitrous, this car will just go on absolute complete blast. Now again, mine is very, very heavily upgraded, so you do not need to have yours anywhere near as upgraded as mine is to be able to beat this. I would say probably about 2 or 3 stage 6 parts will probably do it. I'm just going to try to barely win. Oops, I lost. Missed it a little bit, but that's fine. I'm not really bothered by that. This car can run probably a 10.9, 10.8, something like that. Something way faster than what I just ran. So I am in no way, shape, or form bothered by that. There we go. So as you can see, these last races here are by no means crazy insane. That was a 13.252 that I needed to be able to beat there, so that was not crazy at all. Now what I'm going to do to end off this video, I have taken photographs of every single one of the various different times that you needed in order to beat this entire event. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show them at the very end here. So there we go, there's the last race of the event. All you needed to be able to run was an 11.7, and this is something, that number, I keep seeing this number come up as like 11.7 or 12.7 is the number to beat for this event, and I say 12.7 because that's what the rest of the cars needed to beat for the most part. So there we go, there's the event, 11.7, that is the final time that I needed in order to beat the event. Now, what I'm going to show here, I'm going to take all of the stage 6 parts out. Again, 177 mile per hour speed trap and a 11.7 was what we needed. Now right here, I've got a 13.0, so I'm just showing that with 0 stage 6 parts, you will not be able to beat this event. You are going to need stage 6 parts for this car in order to successfully beat this event. Now, if I take the car and I put the car here, you saw that it was a 177 mile per hour speed trap that I needed to be able to hit. I'm going to just, again, this is a stage 5 only setup here on this car. And I need to get to 177 miles per hour. As you can see, with no stage 6 parts at all, I just hit 212 miles per hour. This car is insane. So, the speed trap is not going to be the deciding factor for whether or not you are able to beat this event. It's simply just not going to be the defining factor for this event. As you saw, 11.7 is the time that is needed to be able to beat this event. So I'm going to put tires and transmission stage 6 parts in this car. We are already at 12.2. Yeah, 12.2 it is. Okay. 12.0 maybe? Yeah, alright, 12.0. So with those two stage 6 parts, now I do not have them. I have this one perfectly fusioned, but I do not have this one perfectly fusioned. And again, this car is not perfectly fusioned at all. I have all the greens, I have close to all the blues, but I do not have all of the pinks. Now if I go over here, I add nitrous in here to this car. I'm already running an 11.8, maybe? Can I get closer? 859, 846, 838, 835. Okay, 835 it is. So again, this is only 3 stage 6 parts: transmission, tires, and nitrous on this car. And let's see, what are we able to run? Oh, oops, my mistake. That was a quarter mile. We don't care about that. We want the half mile. Sorry about that. Missed that right there. Here we go. Let's try again. So we just need to be able to run an 11.7. So right there, we are able to run an 11.7 without any serious problems at all on a 11.8 dyno. Did I drive that car perfectly? No, I didn't drive it perfectly at all. So you only really need those 3 stage 6 parts in order to be able to beat this event. If you have all of the blues, you'll definitely be able to do it with just those 3 without an issue at all. Like if I were to take the, well, never mind. I don't see if where can I add fusions? What fusions am I missing? I'm missing the tire stage 6 fusions. I'm missing some engine pinks. I'm missing a lot of turbo pinks. I'm missing the intake blues there on that stage 6 part. So you really do need to have a lot of fusions in this car if you're only going to have those 3 stage 6 parts. But it's completely doable. You can get it done. Yeah. There we go. I'm just going to adjust that a little bit there, because why not? Now the last part that I'm going to do here, I've shown what you needed to be able to beat the event and do all this and do all of that. The next part here that I'm going to do, I have taken, as I said, all of the various different stuff that was needed in order to beat this event. So right here, this is the first speed, or the last speed trap, the 0 to 60 speed trap that was needed for the Rocket Bunny Super BRZ for the Easter egg hunt event. 3.191. I had a 3.156 that I was able to run. So if you need to be able to beat that part right there, there is this first speed trap. This is the last race that I needed for the Rocket Bunny Corvette Stingray, 13.297, and again, I could have actually ran 13.297 on 0 stage 6 parts if you remember back in this video. Here is the 0-100 with the purple star version, 4.941, able to get it done, no problems, no issues. Here is the 0 to 60 sprint, or one of them, for the Super Bio Zero Rocket Bunny, one of the earlier ones. Here is the speed trap, 122 miles per hour. That was a little bit challenging to get. And then here's the last race, 9.994. You see, I just barely got that race in. So, again, that can be done with no stage 6 parts at all. Here's the speed trap for the Golf GTI, 96 miles per hour. I ran way over that. Here's a 0 to 60, 4.136 against a 2.235. The final speed trap was a 125 mile per hour one for the Golf GTI. And then the final race for the Golf GTI was a 10.154 for me. I've seen people get down to 10.2s, 10.25s, but I'm just showing you what I ran to be as transparent as possible and not give false information. Here's the speed trap that I needed for the RX-7 Rocket Bunny. That one was alright. It wasn't too bad. But then the final race for it, 12.731. With 0 stage 6 parts, you needed to be fully fusioned. And the thing that you needed to do is you actually needed to take the car and yank the transmission back a little bit. And the car runs faster when you pull the transmission back. Again, here's just all of the various different examples of the speed traps and the this and the that. Here is the 0 to 100 that I had to run with the Corvette Stingray Rocket Bunny, 6.803, not that crazy. Here's the final speed trap I needed to run, which was 169. And so that is all of the different photos that I had in order to beat them. You saw me run the final speed trap and times with the RX-8 Rocket Bunny in this video. To be able to get the speed traps and the this and the that for most of the cars was not too difficult. Since I described that the RX-7 needed to have a bit of a weird setup in order to run it. So you've got 13.046 and you saw I ran a 12.7. If I take the transmission forward to 12.7 here, I was finding it extremely difficult to run a 12.7 with this car. And as you can see, what I did was I just pulled the car back to where the Evo drop occurs. And I made it as high Evo as I could before it jumps. So there we go. 12.7, 13.046. So that is all I did. All I did was I pulled it back to where the Evo drop setting was, because for whatever reason on this car, when you pull it back to that, it runs better. So if you did have a difficult time with this car, that is my recommendation if you don't want to have too many stage 6 parts. Here I'm just going to drive it so that you can see. Now, this is not by any means a perfect drive, and I'm not even going to claim that this is a perfect drive. This is just a mediocre run right here. Don't shift into that last gear there, just let it ride out. Ran a 12.9, so yeah, that's not how you do it. That is not how you do it. I'm going to do it one more time. You want to hit the nitrous a lot earlier. The car just needs to have that raw acceleration in the beginning. Oops. Well, this one's not going to run that great either, but that's alright. We might be able to still squeeze out. Nope, we weren't able to squeeze out anything. That's fine. 13.094. Let's try one more time. One more time, I'm going to see if I can't showcase this car running the 12.7 that I used it on, because I have not added any parts to this car since I beat the event. You see I have a stage 6 part there waiting, and yet I have not put it in because I just wanted to be able to make this video and show what was needed in order to beat the event. And I cannot seem to get it to run what I had it run. So I've shown the video there, or the image there, of me running a 12.7. I can't seem to figure out what I did to run that 12.7 right now, but it will do it if you drive the car correctly. If somebody wants me to make a follow-up video where I show how to drive the car properly, let me know down in the comment section below. But that's really going to do it for this video. I just wanted to give an overview of what is needed in order to be able to beat this event. I hope that those of you that were watching found it helpful. Again, you do not need to have maximum stage 6 parts and fusions and everything like that for every single car in this event. You're going to need it for some, but you're not going to need it for all. And then as well, the Easter events, typically speaking, these tend to be some of the easier events to be able to complete. So if you are able to do them last minute here, I know that the current PC Cup is going on, and that's a very expensive one, being a tier 5. If you can do it, these cars, some of them will 100% recycle. The Fairladies recycle, the RX-7 tends to recycle. The prize car, sometimes they recycle and sometimes they don't. The previous prize car was not usable in this event, so just do be mindful of that. In the past, there has been a Rocket Bunny Sylvia S15 that has been used in these events, and it was not used this time around, so it's not always set in stone which cars are going to be recycled. But I can tell you this car, the Subaru BRZ Rocket Bunny, has been recycled every single time that I have been aware. And the Golf GTI has been recycled every single time. So if you're able to pull them from silver keys or bronze keys, I don't think you can from bronze keys, but from silver keys, that's awesome. Congrats to you. I pulled this one from silver keys, and I pulled this one from gold. It's not a crazy amount of gold. It's not impossible for a newer player to get to 1100 gold and get both of those cars. It's not certainly not the easiest, but it is doable. I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that you were able to find this video helped you to beat the event if you hadn't already beaten the event, or just to give a brief overview of how I will be covering these types of events in the future. If you did enjoy it, please consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, switching it to all so you don't miss out on a video. Leave a like on this video as that greatly helps if it was helpful, or if you just had a good time with this content. I will be making more videos now that I am fully back to CSR2, so please stay tuned for those and have that notifications bell switched off so that you're ready for it when I make a new video. Put something down in the comment section below if you're so inclined, but please keep the comment section respectful. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Jacob, and as always here at the PN's House, G is where you want to be. You have a great and blessed day.